Good evening, Australia, and welcome to the Awake News Network. That's awakenewsnetwork.com. Today, we are waking up our fellow Australians to who will win the 2024 US presidential election. So, we'll be going through what our prediction is and also giving you a couple of bets that you might be interested in having a flutter on. We're going to use our odds via Sportsbet, given they are Australia's biggest online sports betting company. Definitely not a promotion for them in any way, shape, or form. So, how we're going to do this, we're going to go through, I guess, how the Electoral College works and how America decides its president. We're going to have a look at some polling, especially on the swing states. We're going to fill in the Electoral College Map. And then once we've done that, that will give us a good indication of where the best bets lie and what we think will happen in 2 weeks from now. For Australians, the results for the election will start dripping in on Wednesday morning, probably lunchtime. We're looking Wednesday the 6th of November, they'll start dripping in, which is obviously the Tuesday night, the 5th in America. Alright, so we're going to go through the Electoral College first. So this was one that it can be controversial. It really depends on what side of politics you are. If your side is losing, then you don't really happen to like it. If your side's winning, you think it's great. It's the best thing ever. I think for what it is, it's probably the best that the US has got at the moment. It's been tried and tested for many, many years. And the magic number that a candidate needs to reach is either 270 or more electoral college votes. Now, what's interesting with the electoral college vote is that is the way the election's decided. It's not decided by whoever wins the popular vote. And that's probably a good thing because it stops cities like Los Angeles or New York essentially overwhelming the entire nation with their votes and deciding election from, one or two cities. So there only been 4 occasions in history where the candidate who won the popular vote didn't win the Electoral College. Most recent was famously in 2016, where Trump won by 2.1 points. Oh, sorry, Hillary won by 2.1 points over Trump in the popular vote, but he claimed the Electoral College quite comfortably, 304 to 227. You also see, and apologies if you have trouble seeing this, I know it's in very small font. Each state is allocated a certain number of electoral college votes depending on their population. You can see here, this coloured one here was representing the 2020 election, and this top one here, which is all greyed out because we don't have results yet, is what the 2024 map will look like as far as distribution of electoral college votes. Interesting enough, as I said, it goes by population, and you can see, like, it's been famously reported on that a lot of people are fleeing California in droves and going to a place like Texas, and that is reflected in the Electoral College, where in 2020, California had 55 Electoral College votes. Now they only have 54 in 2024, whereas Texas was 38, it's now 40, so that's gained 2 electoral votes for the Republicans. Florida has also increased. Ohio has also increased as well. So basically, Democrats really shoot themselves in the foot when they govern their states poorly and they move to red states, and they gain more electoral college votes as a result. Now let's go to the Electoral College Map. So this map here has already been pre-filled in based on the 2024 consensus of what states will go red and what states will go blue. This is by no means an exact replica of what will happen in 2 weeks from now, but generally the consensus is that these states that are not coloured in are the toss-up states. These are the battleground states, and we'll go filling these in one by one in a moment to give you an idea of how the map will look come November 5th in America. So let's start with Georgia, and we'll go to latest polling with Georgia. So that shows Trump with a current lead, average lead on Real Clear Politics of 1.8 points. That's based on polling from the past month. They always do their polling based on the last month of polls, and as you can see, it's red across the board except for a Wall Street Journal poll of registered voters back in 28th of September to the 8th of October. So yeah, it's only a couple of weeks old, 3 weeks old, 2-3 weeks old, but a lot of these pollsters oversample Democrats quite severely, and I'll get to a couple of those examples shortly in other states. But for Georgia here, we see Trump currently up by 1.8 points. On this day in history, this will be interesting too to see, and hopefully you can see that at home. In 2016, when Trump last won, he was actually polling 4 points up at this stage, about 2 weeks out from the election. This time he's only 1.8 points up, but still think he's well on track to claim Georgia back from Biden, who won it narrowly in 2020. As you can see, in 2020, Biden was holding it by about 0.8, nearly 1%, but Trump's now nearly at 2%, so that's helping. And if we scroll down here, we can see the results. 2016, Trump won by 5.1, and Biden scraped it in 2020. But there was a lot of dodgy stuff going on there, but we won't talk about that because we'll probably get bloody banned or something. So, yeah, 5.1, probably expecting it to be quite similar come election day. We've had one poll, that Quinnipiac poll, which had Trump at +6. That might not be too far out of the ballpark, to be honest. But look, a victory of 3 or 4 points, even 5 points would be nice. You also need to get enough votes to, too big to rig is the expression. And I believe if Trump can carry a state by 3 to 4 to possibly 5 points, that should be enough to stop any of the funny business going on. So on that note, we're going to fill Georgia in as a lean Republican. It could almost go likely Republican, but it doesn't really matter. A win's going to be a win here regardless. So that takes the Republicans to 235, and they're only 35 away from victory. The next state we'll look at is North Carolina. Now, traditionally in the past, this has been a red state. In 2016, Trump beat Hillary by 3.6, and in 2020, he carried it over Biden by 1.3. Despite going back to back red, it's still considered a swing state. Polling's been mainly red. A recent one with Harris +2, you've really got to question, are they oversampling Democrats in this one? Seems likely. This Quinnipiac one, Harris +3. Once again, you actually look at the internal statistics of these polls, and the maths just doesn't add up. And it comes out in the wash that they do oversample Democrats to the tune of 3, 4, 5 points, sometimes even 7 to 10 points. So, yeah, look, North Carolina, I would be surprised if Trump lost this one. And as you can see in history, he's much better positioned than he was in 2016 against Hillary when he won it quite comfortably. And given the response from recent hurricanes too, from the Biden-Harris administration, it has not been great. Some people there are very peeved off with what their response has been, and it's taken people like Elon Musk to come in there and deliver Starlink internet to people to get them connected again. It hasn't been the government helping out, but they eventually came. And now they'll probably want to buy up all the land. But that is definitely a story for another day. So look, I'm going to confidently put in North Carolina for Trump as well, taking him 251 and only 19 away from victory. And apologies for these pop-up ads. Now, Powerball. Oh, jeez. 30 million. Now, everyone's talking about Pennsylvania, and this really is the key to this election. If this goes red, you've got your 19 votes to get to 270 right there and then. So this is the key. It's Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. If Trump wins then and carries all the other states that he's expected to carry, then it's game over. So let's look at polling for Pennsylvania. This one has been much more favourable for Trump recently. So a couple of recent polls here have been pretty encouraging. Rasmussen reports is usually quite accurate. Now, this New York Times Siena poll was a bit of a joke, really. Harris plus 3. If you actually look in the internals of that, they were oversampling Democrats by about 7 points. So really, you could turn that Harris plus 3 into nearly a Trump plus 3 or plus 4. So tracking along nicely there as well. And look, remember on this day, 8 years ago, Hillary was leading by over 6 points, and what happened on election day? Trump won by 0.7. So he's tracking really well compared to how he has in the last 2 elections. That's not the only reason why I think he'll carry Pennsylvania as well. It's a state that relies on its oil, its coal, and those jobs are at risk with the policies of the future policies of the Harris regime. Hopefully, it doesn't turn out that way. So, I've seen enough with Pennsylvania. You see the people lining the streets. It's the state where his first attempt on his life took place. I really would be surprised if he loses Pennsylvania. He's got a lot of momentum on his side, and in that case, I'm going to give that to him. And look, we could end the video right there. Although I'll have to give you a couple of hot tips to make a bit of cash. But there's the 270. That's game over. That's the win for the Republicans right there. They don't even have to worry about these 4 states. However, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to quickly fill them in. So we've got Michigan here. Michigan up 1.2 at the moment. Look at this in 2016. Hillary up by 12. That's how bad the polls were back then. And look, you might say, look, well, what's stopping the polls being that inaccurate this time? Look, the methodology of these polls has cleaned up quite a bit in the past 8 years. Are there still pollsters out there who want to chuck in a bad poll every now and then? Of course there are. I've just showed you that one from Pennsylvania before, that Harris plus 3. That's oversampled her by about 7 points. The big one here, yeah. So Hillary plus 12 on that day in 2016, and Trump ends up carrying the state just by 0.3. This could be, I mean, look, if this goes blue, it wouldn't surprise me, but just latest polling sees Trump with all the momentum here. And by the way, if you're looking at these samples here, so this means they polled 1,090 people. LV means likely voters. RV means registered voters. You'll find that likely voters are the more accurate because they're not registered to a party. On this particular poll was Harris plus 2, but as I said, would not surprise you one bit if the Wall Street Journal, of all places, was oversampling Democrats by at least maybe 4 or 5 points. So look, enough dilly-dallying. I'm going to give Michigan to Trump too, and I'm going to give Wisconsin to Trump just. I think he's got the momentum. He did carry it in 2016, and then Biden flipped it back by the same margin in 2020. I just believe the state of play at the moment will see Wisconsin go to Trump. So that has him taking the Rust Belt, apart from Minnesota, which is the state of Tampon Tim Walz, the vice presidential candidate for the Democrats. I cannot see Trump flipping that. He could go close, but I expect that to remain blue. The other one, who I'm not even going to go through the results, well, I will in a minute, but Arizona will go red as well. I'll just quickly show you Arizona. Trump up by 1.8. Hillary only had a narrow lead there of 1.5 in 2016, and Trump won it by 3.5. So he's on track there to get Arizona. And that leaves us Nevada. He's got a lead there in Nevada as well. I'm going to be generous to Kamala and give her Nevada. Only reason being, past couple of elections, sorry, this one here we need, past couple of elections, it has gone blue by exactly the same amount. That is not a big amount to flip 2.4%, so it could very well go red. But I just feel maybe it won't. This is the one that will play in my mind as Nevada. I actually honestly think he can probably win it. Maybe I'm not as confident, but I think we could probably almost give Nevada to Trump. In fact, I'm gonna do it. We'll give it to Trump. So this is what we think the Electoral College will be, 312 to 226. So let's go to the odds. Before we get to Sportsbet, I just want to show you the poly market. Now this is basically American based, but it shows where the money's come in. See, Kamala doesn't rate a mention at all until we get into early July. Now, you see a spike here for Trump after the Butler attempt on July 13. It spikes and holds it for a little bit, and Kamala starts her ascension thanks to the mainstream media getting nominated without acquiring a single vote. Bounces up and down for a while, but in the past sort of 2.5 weeks, it has just shot straight up in Trump's favour. All the money, or most of the money, or 64, probably soon to be 65 and above percent of the money is coming in for Trump. He's definitely got the momentum at the right time of this election cycle. So let's look at some bets. Mind you, these odds are at the time of recording, Tuesday evening, the 22nd of October, Australian time. You see Trump there, $1.57. I'm a bit annoyed with myself that I didn't get on him around even money, or 2.10 when Kamala was having her honeymoon period. But he's about the same odds he was after the Butler attempt, so you might see that even get backed into further, maybe even $1.40 soon. Kamala could probably drift even further, might be 280 by the time we get to election day. But it's more to it than that. Let's see where we can make some money. Now, there are some novelty bets, as Sportsbet like to do. Kamala Harris to win the popular vote and Donald Trump to be the US election winner. That's not a bad shout at $2.50. However, I've got a sneaking feeling Trump may carry the popular vote. So that is the risk there. But there might be a little bit of value there. I'd probably not touch that though. Trump to win each of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, 280. Not bad, not bad. Once again, I'm probably thinking Wisconsin's maybe the question mark there. I'm not even going to consider any of these Kamala Harris ones because I just don't think it's going to happen. Donald Trump to win Michigan and to win 330 to 359 electoral college votes. I mean, what have we got him predicted at? 312. That's with Nevada. 306 without it. It could happen if he flips Virginia and he flips New Mexico. You got 330 there, but it's which he would also win Michigan as well. That's not out of the realm of possibility, but I probably think it's probably unlikely to happen. But I hope I'm wrong, to be honest with you. Trump to win Georgia and North Carolina, $1.57. Look, that's probably likely to happen, but you're not getting more than even money there. Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. I actually, that, even though it's an extra state, I'd feel more confident about that than that top one. Maybe there's a question mark about North Carolina, but I'm probably overthinking it. Michigan and Nevada, yeah, it could happen. Let's get to some value. To win either Colorado or New Mexico, it's 6-1. Maybe. Be interesting to see some polls come out for that. There was a recent poll that had him down by only 3 points in New Mexico, so it's a possibility. Harris to win popular vote and win 240 to 269. That means she doesn't win the election. I'm not sure that will happen. Trump to win Pennsylvania and Harris to be the winner. No, you can write that off. Whoever wins Pennsylvania is pretty much winning this election. Trump to win either California and New York. Yeah, what a boil over it would be, but I can't see it happening. This one here won't happen. If Trump wins the popular vote, he will win the Electoral College vote. You could take that to the bank, so you can write that one off. But her to win both Texas and that's Texas and Florida. That's should be 136-1, not 36-1. But I want to give you my bet of the day, and I hope the odds haven't changed, but it's in the handicap of 29.5. This, as of only a couple of days ago, had Trump at $2.25. It's now shortened to $2. This here would be my bet of the election. Trump to win the Electoral College by essentially 30 or more, which he's doing there quite resoundingly. Now, there was another option as well, which I'll go back, which is the 64.5. Now, I'll just do a quick little maths on the fly here, but that isn't out of the realms of possibility as well. So if we're basing this off the current map at the moment, we do 312, we take 226, I'm just doing this on my phone at the moment, we get 86 difference there, which that covers that easily. That could also be a decent shout here, and let's even experiment and give Kamala give her Nevada. That takes us to 306, 306, and we're taking away 232, getting us 74, which still keeps us within this margin here. So this also could be a decent shout if you want to get a little bit more bang for your buck there. If you want to play it a bit safer, I'd go the negative 29.5. Anyway, folks, that's about it for our election prediction and best bets. So just in summary, we believe that Donald Trump will win this election and probably win it quite comfortably, and wouldn't be surprised if it is a landslide of sorts. The America needs a strong leader, the world needs a strong leader, and like him or loathe him, Trump proved between January 20, 2017 to January 20, 2021 that he was a strong leader. Look, he may have fumbled the ball a bit on COVID, but between 2017 to the beginning of 2020 were some very prosperous years for America, and that prosperity spread across the world. We don't want to be on the brink of World War III. And look, the only thing I'm worried about with Trump between now and Election Day and the inauguration day on the 20th of January 2025 is if there's some orchestrated event, a false flag attack, that could potentially or potentially another attempt on his life, and we pray that doesn't happen. Clearly, there's something. You just feel something's going to happen between now and election day. We're 2 weeks out. We haven't quite had the October surprise yet. In 2016, the October surprise was that leaked tape of Trump saying that he likes to grab him by the pussycat. In 2020, it was Hunter Biden's laptop, which was just completely suppressed by the mainstream media and Facebook. An absolute joke and just downright election interference there. But hey, if you know, you know. Overall, I hope for a clean, fair election and some prosperity, peace and prosperity across the next 4 years. That would be nice. I think we're going to see 4 glorious years of President Donald J. Trump. Anyway, folks, that'll do for this evening. This is Gus from the awakenewsnetwork.com. You have a great evening, Australia. See ya.